Hi there, my name is Adeline, and this is my first ever video, so I thought it would be fitting to do the Booktube Newbie Tag, which is so original, I know. So question 1, why did you start this channel? I started this channel because I love books, which I feel like is a really generic answer, but I don't really have a lot of friends that are super into reading, and even when I join book clubs, I feel like I read the book in like a day and then I have to wait so long to be able to talk about it with people. So I felt like this would be the easiest way for me to have an outlet for my love of books and my love of reading, and to be able to discuss it in a way that's not just me talking to myself alone in my room. At least I'm talking to a camera now, so whether or not anyone actually watches, at least I get this out there for myself. So question 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I feel like this is kind of a weird question because I think automatically if you're sharing your opinion on any book, even if it's really well known and really popular and super hyped, everyone's opinions and thoughts are really unique because every person is unique. And so I feel like already my opinions will be unique because they're from my perspective. But I also would like to maybe try and do more recommendations, because whenever I watch another booktuber, I feel like that's always the video that really makes me either really into their videos or want to completely click off of them, is the books that they recommend. Because I feel like if you can find someone who gives you really good recommendations and really trustworthy recommendations, I feel like that's what makes a great booktuber or book reviewer. And so I'd like to do more recommendations, which I think are really fun. So question 3, what are you most excited for about this new channel? I think I'm just most excited about getting my opinions out there and actually talking about books, and also getting more into being more comfortable on camera and sort of learning what works and what doesn't work for me. Yeah, I guess I'm just excited to get started. And I think, yeah. And I'm also really, really excited to be able to make the kind of videos that I like to watch. And hopefully, if I start making more of those, it'll maybe lead me to other people who also make those kinds of videos and share similar opinions to me, so that I can have more to watch and more to read. Question 4, why do you love reading? Again, I feel like this is more of a generic answer, but it's the truth. So I love reading because I like being in different worlds. I like being in different worlds, in different people's perspectives. I read a lot of contemporary. I'm not a big fantasy or sci-fi reader or historical fiction reader, but when I do, I think those worlds are really cool as well. But even just in the contemporary world, in the contemporary novels, I feel like you still get a lot from listening to I feel like you still get a lot out of it from being able to be in this different person's body and mind and learn and hear their thoughts and see all these different situations. And I really like that. I like putting myself in other people's shoes and being inside of their heads. and understanding people, and I feel like books are a really great way to see the world through someone else's eyes. And I also I like just the escapism of it, and the idea that you can be anywhere in the world just by reading. So question 5, what book or series got you into reading? So, this is the very first book I ever read. It's called Love, Loss, and What I Wore. And it doesn't have a dust jacket on it. I've had it forever. It was the first book that I ever got really excited to read. And I remember I saw this book on my mom's bookshelf, and I thought it looked so cute. I was such a girly girl. It had pink polka dots on it, and I thought I would love to read this book. And so I was like, I need to learn how to read so I can read this. And it's got illustrations, but it's also got the text. And I wanted to be a fashion designer at the time, so this was perfect because it had sketches in it and pretty clothes. And it's actually, to this day, it's by Eileen Beckerman, and she has a blog that's, I believe, is also called Love, Loss, and What I Wore. And I still read her blog today. So question number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I would be interested to know why they choose the books that they do. Because I feel like even though you can if you watch more videos of them, you can get a sense of maybe common themes. But I want to know if there's something about certain books that will automatically make them pick it up. And I'd also like to know, do they ever feel the need to review, like they have to review certain books, or that are there certain books that they don't show on their channel or maybe don't pick up because they feel like they could be judged for them. Not that I think that a lot of people would judge you for what you read, especially in this community, although I think I've seen it, but I would want to know why they choose the books that they do, and what makes a book worthy enough to have in a video. Is there some sort of criteria for it? Are there books that they don't review for a reason or don't talk about for a reason? Question 7, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think it's just going to be filming videos. I'm usually pretty busy, and even though it's summertime right now, I still have work, and I'm trying to look into grad schools for next year. Since I'm going to be a junior in college this year, I want to have an idea of where I'd like to apply before I actually have to start applying next year. So I think the uploads will be hard for me, just to film videos and get them out there, because I'm not very comfortable putting myself out there. So also the actually hitting upload and actually putting them up somewhere. I think that will be very difficult for me. Because as comfortable as I can be just by myself in my own skin, to know that I'm putting this on a place where I have literally no control over who doesn't watch and who watches is a little scary to me. Because even though I know that lots of people aren't gonna find this video, the idea that anyone could, even if it's just one person, it probably will just be maybe one person, is scary to me. So yeah, the upload schedule and being comfortable with putting myself out there. Question 8, when did you start reading? So I think I mentioned that I read this book when I was about 4 or 5, I believe. Question 9, where do you read? Right now I'm back home for the summer, so I read a little bit at home, and then sometimes I read a little bit at work if my computer isn't working and I have nothing else to do, which isn't too often. And I also read a little bit on the way home when I'm taking the metro. And then during the school year, mostly I'll read kind of in between classes, like while I'm waiting for class to start, because I always like to get to class at least 15 minutes early, and I sit there and I just read a little bit. And sometimes in the library at school, especially when I don't have any exams coming up or assignments, and sometimes even when I do, although I probably shouldn't, and at home, sometimes at school. Okay, question 10. What kinds of books do you like to read? It would shock a lot of people who really knew me to hear this, but my favorite kind of books to read are contemporary romance. I really, really get into those. And I don't know why, because I'm not like a big romance movie person. Although my favorite movie is also a romance movie, so maybe I am. But I'm not much of a real life romantic, I should say. But for some reason, I just love fictional romance, and specifically contemporary. I'm not a big historical romance reader or a Regency romance reader at all. I like reading adult contemporary romance, but I also like reading young adult contemporary. Specifically with young adult, I like reading books that have characters who are dealing with mental illnesses or mental health issues, because that's sort of what I want to go into with my career, and I think it's really interesting to read about those. I also like reading mysteries. I love reading mysteries with female detectives. And that's really what I reach for. I'm pretty open to recommendations usually. Okay, so that's all of the questions, and I guess that's the end of this video. Hopefully, if anyone ever stumbled upon this, hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you'd want to like the video and subscribe or leave a comment and tell me that you agree with me or that you disagree with me, because that's fine too. Thanks for watching, if you watched, and I guess I'll see you in the next video.